Hi all, welcome to my Hibernian review of the Edinburgh Derby, but also of the review of the post-split fixtures, and also where do we see Hibs finishing between now and the end of the season. So if you're a Hibs fan, you're welcome to smash the like, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GIsALegend, comment down below what your thoughts of the Edinburgh Derby were, especially if you're a fan of Scottish football, and then just welcome. If you're not a Scottish football fan, then I completely understand if you're not interested in the video, but I thought it'd be good to kind of review the game. I meant to do a preview of it, but got my times mixed up and kind of days really for the fixtures. So a big win in the end of a 2-1 victory. Horgan, of course, getting 2 goals. From a FIFA perspective, for those that connect to the channel from a FIFA view, Horgan got man of the match. He got 2 goals. And that may prove quite useful towards him getting a possible inform for FIFA fans. But in terms of the game itself, Hibs did have to dig a bit deep at times. Set pieces where we kept going, try that again, got caught out, especially as the goal proved. But throughout, the team just kind of dug deep, played well. Malin's free kick was one moment I was like, that. The amount of curve that was on that ball was like, I just could not believe for where it started to where it finished was unbelievable. And if that had went in, that would have been up there for like not quite just goal of the season contender, but just something else. And Malin's just been very impressive this season, and the second goal in itself was almost where good play was kind of shown by Hibs. Yes, it's a tricky pitch to play on. Hearts play a very difficult style to play against, but just how that second goal went with Malin, Kimberry and Horgan, and then just inch perfect shot from Horgan, that was kind of like very slick and very impressive football. Like even the first goal, like I know a lot of people would say it's touch and go for wherever if Horgan was McNulty was offside. But you'd give I think it was almost like benefit of the doubt, and even then the ball was inch perfect, came across, Horgan positioned himself brilliantly and just slotted it away very, very nicely. But even then, like, Hanlon was very sound at the back. Even when Bartley came on, for example, he just absolutely worked his socks off. I was kind of surprised he didn't play. I would be honest, I would have played Bartley over Omeniga. I feel what lets him down is his pace. Like, he's got good vision, good passing, he's not too bad physically, but he just lacks that pace, and I feel that's where Bartley might have been the better addition. It might have made a difference, especially for the first goal. I think like he might have been the man to mark like Haring, or he might have been on the back post or the front post, or he would have told like people where to go, for example, and it might have made just a little bit more of a difference. But I'm not going to complain. Like, since Heckingbottoms came in, we've yet to lose in the league. We've been very impressive. We've went from possibly looking at bottom 6 for now suddenly looking at the possibility of even third happening, which is kind of crazy how fixtures have turned around. The form's been really in our favour, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens with the team between now and the end of the season. Like, the split games will not be easy. I'm fully aware of that. I think all Hibs fans are aware of that. But looking at the 5 fixtures remaining in the split, because obviously the Edinburgh Derby was the last game before the split, I would say that to have 3 games at home, if we were to get, say, 2 wins and a draw from those home games, I would be delighted. We play Celtic first, because there's the Scottish Cup next week. So Hibs versus Celtic at Easter Road, which is the 21st of April. That will be an interesting one. Obviously we were unlucky against Celtic in the Cup, but I feel with how Hibs are starting to gel under Heckingbottom, this could be the type of game where it could easily be 1-1, could be 2-2. We seem to be one of the few teams that can give Celtic a game, and it's been that way the last few seasons, which is quite interesting. So we'll see how that one progresses, but I think it'll be a draw, I think, that game. But if we were to win it, I'll be even more delighted. Then obviously the following Sunday is Derby again against versus Hearts. That is a 12:15 kickoff. So I'd assume, going by how these teams are playing, for like Hibs versus Celtic, I would imagine must be a TV game. Same for Hearts, I think, or at least one of them will be. Then 5th of May, Rangers versus Hibs at Ibrox. That will be an interesting one, seeing how that plays out. Half free kick-off for that one, I would say, depending how the previous two games have played out, could we see Hibs maybe going like 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3? I would say this could be the one that will make the difference, possibly, to determining whether we're 5th or 4th or 3rd or whatever. Kilmarnock, I would say on the Saturday, with it being a 3 o'clock kick-off, depending what they've got to play for by that point in the season, we could be looking at possibly 3 points, we could be looking at a draw, but as long, Kilmarnock's always a hard game, especially now under Stevie Clarke, and it always just comes down to really form between both sides, and also just how Hibs are playing, how Kilmarnock's playing, and we'll just take it from there really. And then the Aberdeen game is our last game of the season on a Sunday, 3 o'clock kick-off, and I would say hopefully by that stage we'll have an idea what we've got to play for. Have we got Europe to play for? Do we just have like 4th? Do we have 5th? What do we have to play for? Because I don't know for certain if 4th will get us a European spot. I wouldn't exactly focus on 4th. You'd rather try and get 3rd if you can, but for me, I would say, looking at the 5 games that we have to play, I feel that if we could get 4 wins out of 5, then I would say quite happily that we are in a very strong position. But it's not going to be easy regardless. The fans know that, the team knows it, and like, for me to say that we're sitting in 5th in the table with 52 points after 33 games, especially after like we've had 2 wobbles this season. We had like one when we were sitting 2nd, and then we had like another wobble just before Lennon left, or it could even have kind of technically been seen as the same wobble, but regardless, for us to be sitting 5th now above Hearts and going into this week's set of fixtures, to obviously Kilmarnock and Aberdeen have got 3 points on us, and Hearts are obviously now 2 behind, so like realistically 12 points then from 5 would put from 15 would put us to 64, and then you've kind of got to then just hope and pray that Kilmarnock and Aberdeen don't get more than 9 basically. I think I remember having this same discussion on a video last year, I think when it was the post-split fixtures, and it was kind of the same dilemma, depending how obviously Aberdeen, Rangers, Celtic etc played out, and I think obviously the last day of the season was the 5-5 game. But I would say, looking at everything, if Heckingbottom could go at the end of the season still unbeaten in the league as Hibs manager, then it gives us a bit of faith, like, because you never know what could happen. Even if it was 5 draws, I think fans would not be too downhearted, as long as we would probably still be above Hearts. That's, I think, what most folk would rather take. But long way to go, still lots to play for come between now and the end of the season. I think obviously Celtic have practically got the league wrapped up, pending a disaster. Rangers look good for 2nd, then it's kind of like just a battle between 3rd and 6th for the league. I think realistically it's going to be either Kilmarnock, Aberdeen or Hibs that will take 3rd, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun little journey between now and the end of the season. And I think for relegation, I think looking at it, Dundee looks set to go down. I think St Mirren might be the playoff team, or hopefully Hamilton, and then just a case of wait and see from there. But pretty much the league is all but wrapped up, especially in mid-table between 7th to 9th. That's not too exciting. It's just a case of who wants 7th to try and get themselves a little bit more money. But all in all, been an interesting season so far, and I'll get a final review probably as the season progresses. But let me know, folks, in the comments down below, for those that are Scottish football fans, what has your thoughts been of not just the Edinburgh Derby but the season in general. Some minor negatives obviously this afternoon with the coconut, for example, and the flares in the Hibs game, but it's been an interesting season regardless. But hopefully next season can dust itself down and improve from there. So take it easy all, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later.